Hello tubers, this is Kurt with Edibles and Exotics coming to you from sunny Mesa, Arizona. And today I'm going to do a little video on our excessive heat we've been having for the past, geez, I don't know, like 20 days. So according to the weather service here in Arizona, we've had 20 consecutive days over 110 degrees. So last summer was supposedly our wettest summer on record. This summer is going to be our hottest summer on record. So talk about extremes, right? Last year was great. We had tons of rain, lots of humidity. The temperatures weren't blazing hot. And this year it's just been misery. So today, believe it or not, was 118 degrees. Okay, so for my viewers that are not from Arizona, or at least the Phoenix Valley area, we do get very hot. Okay, I think our record is like 124 or something like that back in the 90s. And you know, it's hot, man. So, you know, 110 isn't too bad, but you know, when you get to 118 like we've had today, and we're supposed to have for the next 3 days, and supposedly for the next 2 weeks, you know, I mean, you know how the weather is. The weatherman, they screw up everything, man. They can't keep anything straight. But you know, we're supposed to have for the foreseeable future, which would be like the next 2 weeks in the forecast, anywhere from 112 to 118 with no rain in sight, and it's just pure misery. So I was just going to take you around the yard a little bit, show you what's going on. You know, I talked about my front yard and how for the past few years it hasn't been doing good, heavily compacted soil and all that. And it's actually doing better than the backyard this year, believe it or not. So right now, you know, where I'm standing used to be a lawn, and it's not a lawn anymore. So I do still have sprinklers as if it was a lawn. So I'm running those sprinklers 3 times a day for 10 minutes each time. And the sprinklers are cranked up, so they're putting out full flow for 10 minutes, 3 times a day, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. And when I come home from work, my regular job that I do from very early in the morning until about 3 in the afternoon, when I get home, I water everything by hand in the front yard, and then I water all my potted plants in the backyard, and then I run my backyard irrigation for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour every day. And again, those are micro sprayers, so they're really not putting out that much water. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So right now I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you what I got going on in the front yard, show you some of the updates on some of these plants out here. So let me flip you around and give you a tour. All right, so right here we got the Black Mission fig tree that we filmed a video on last December. We pollarded this sucker down to like 4 feet, and as you can see, this thing is enormous, guys. And it does have figs. I've picked a few figs off of it. Here's some baby figs in here going up. There's a teeny tiny one. There are some bigger ones. They're kind of hidden. I don't feel like walking in there and getting all itchy while I'm filming, so you'll have to take my word for it, but I have picked 3 of them. Right here is a Buddha belly bamboo that I planted in a previous video. It's doing pretty good. Right here we have a mango tree. It's 3 years old, grown from seed, Walmart mango. And it's put out this much growth from here up. And it's also got a little branch coming out of the side here somewhere. Right there, it's multi-trunk, so it's got a growth tip there, got a growth tip there. Again, this guy is painted with trunk paint. And as you can see, the leaves are covered in homemade sunblock, which I did a video on. I'll put a link down in the description. Right here we got a Mexican guava, Mexican sweet guava, Mexican cream guava. This was planted about a month ago. I got a super smoking deal on it at Lowe's, so couldn't pass that up, but it's doing great. It started out down here, and all of this is new growth, so it's probably got about a foot of new growth all over it. This guy here is a Red Rover passion fruit. Let me flip around to the other side here. So this is a Red Rover passion fruit. I planted it to grow up that palm tree, but as you can see, that palm tree died. So now it's grown up the moringa. This is the moringa that I filmed a video on last week. After trimming off all the pods, you could see, if you compared that video to this video, you can see there's a lot of leaf growth. So guys, if your moringa's covered in pods and it's got no leaves on it and it looks like it's gonna die, cut the pods off, it'll leaf back out, you'll be good to go, okay? Over here we have a white Morris Alba white mulberry, okay? It's supposed to be a white berry variety. I sure hope it is, because I already have a black berry variety. So hopefully this one puts out white berries. We'll see how it goes. Here's another mango. This one is also grown from seed, same age as the other mango. The other mango is a Mexican variety. This one is supposedly an Indian variety. When I ate the fruit, this one was a very light yellow, whereas the other one was the typical mango that was, you know, kind of orangey, reddish, greenish colored. Mangoes are one of my favorite fruits. As you can see here, compost in place, guys. There's some apples, some bananas, corn cob. This over here is a Buddha's hand citron. I planted this beginning of the summer, and it was growing pretty quick. You can see there's some new growth in there, but with the heat, it's kind of slowed down. Here's some more growth. This here is lemongrass. This George gave to me. I got 2 of these. I got one over here, and there's one over here. These guys are both growing good. Over here, this is a medjool date palm. I've talked about this in other videos. We are going into date season here, so lots of dates on there. This was grown from a seed. I bought a thing of dates from Sprouts Farmers Market, the grocery store, health food store, whatever you want to call it, and planted it, I would say probably about 12 years ago, 10 years ago, somewhere around there. And you can see they sucker a lot, so I always trim those off the Sawzall. I know you could root them out and stuff, but really don't want to get into that. Seems like a lot of extra work. Over here we got a pineapple. That's from a store-bought pineapple top from Walmart. That's probably about 6 months old, I would say. This is a Santa Rosa plum. It's grown probably, when I planted it, it was about this tall. So it's probably put on about, I would say maybe 2 or 3 feet in growth there. It's actually starting to push out some new growth. There's some growth right there. That just popped out this week. This is the mulch from my neighbor's ficus tree that I showed you guys in the previous video with their tree. This is a cherimoya tree that I planted from seed. This is about the same age as those mangoes, and as you can see, it gets a little sunburnt. So I paint the trunk on this, and you can see it's got the white on there. It's my homemade sunblock. Every year it kind of looks crappy in the summer, but it bounces back. Over here we have a Queensland bottle tree. This is seed grown from last winter, and as you can see, it's starting to get branches on it, which is really cool. Over here is a weeping mulberry. Again, this is mulched with the ficus tree mulch from the previous video. This it's a Morris Alba pendula. It's a female version, so it gets black berries on it every spring. Over here we have a Peruvian apple cactus. So this guy I'm trying to get rid of. I want to plant a curry leaf tree in its place, but there's the fruit. If you guys are interested in cuttings, I do cuttings for $5 a foot, and hopefully I could get enough cuttings to get rid of this thing pretty quick. Over here we have a contorted mulberry. This was a air layer off my contorted mulberry in the backyard. It's about, I would say, probably 9 months old. Planted about 6 months ago. And this area gets blasted by sun. This is a Barbados cherry. It got a little killed last year, but it's bouncing back and it's doing pretty good. This over here is our Mexican lime tree, or key lime tree. And as you can see, it's got some limes on it. So they don't get very big, but they taste and smell great. The cool thing about citrus that a lot of people don't know is you could actually take a young branch like this, you just got to watch out for the thorns, and you could take this, cut it off, and just boil it in some water, and it makes some nice citrus tea. And it's supposedly really good for you. People in South America, Central America, do it, and they swear by it. All right, guys, on to the backyard. Here's the one moringa tree from the video the other day. You can see it's still got some pods on it, but it's leafing out, and it's looking pretty good. Lots of flowers. We have some mint going over here that's starting to bolt. This is all just grows by itself. I don't do anything. Just water it and watch it grow. Here we have our big blue Java bananas. They are looking like total crap. So you can see the leaves at the very top, where they're peeking over the roof line, they're torched, okay? And as you get lower and lower, they start looking a little better. But you can see these new leaves as they came out. These guys, I mean, they're burnt. They're hanging down. They're necrotic. They just look like death. But this guy does this every year. You can see I painted the trunks on them to try to reflect it. I did spray it, as you can see, with sunblock for plants. But when your leaves are sticking up that high and they're next to a cement roof and a plastered wall, they're just going to get hot. Nothing's going to help them, guys. That's why this moringa is right here. Hopefully the sun comes up this way and goes overhead. Hopefully when this tree gets a little bigger, it'll give this banana a little bit more shade. Here's the male portion of the flower hanging down. Here's our bananas. They're still going. No problems up there. Some moringa pods right there too. But yeah, the bananas are looking pretty good. They're not feeling too bad. See what else we got over here. So we planted a papaya here. This was a transplant from somewhere else in the yard to shade this side of the banana. And that's doing its job. Over here we got another papaya tree. Again, these are grown from seed. They're in August, I think they're going to be 2 years old. So they're close to 2. Here we got some cashews. Doing okay, full sun. A lot of fig cuttings. These are all black missions. Got a manzano banana over here. This one doesn't get too much sun. It gets shaded by this papaya, by that ficus, and by this orange tree over here. So it's doing okay. It's got some pups. The pups haven't really done much. You know, there's a little pup right there. And there's one somewhere in the back. I just can't see it right now. All right, guys. I wanted to show you, these are some of the larger fig cuttings. And as you can see, they're doing pretty good. I got them in these 18-inch grow bags. One of them here, this guy decided to die on me. So we're going to replace him with something else. These are the fig sprigs. So as you can see, they're doing probably the best out of every fig I got. So if you guys want to do fig cuttings, check out my video on how to root figs and give the water method with the fig sprigs a try. They work great. So down here we got what's left of my tissue culture bananas. These guys were doing great up until about 3 weeks ago, and then the heat hit them, and I've lost probably about $100 worth of bananas. So not good. Never happened before. Usually they do pretty good. I might lose 1 or 2 a year, but to lose pretty much 90% of them is not good. Back here we got some pistachios. They're doing okay, but again, you can see the leaves are starting to crisp up from the heat. Over here, this is the curry leaf tree that I'm going to plant in the front yard, hopefully when I get that Peruvian apple cactus out. Over here we got some more bananas and dragon fruit. But back here we have a blue Java banana, and again you can see new leaf coming out. Looks like total crap. And this is a transplant off of the big blue Java tree that I just showed you that looked awful. But it does have a new cigar leaf coming out. So hopefully it bounces back. Over here we got a navel orange. We got some oranges on it. Hopefully this year they stay attached to the tree and don't fall off. This area doesn't get very much sun, so this tree never really produces much fruit. Over here, this is the contorted mulberry tree that I got the air layer off of the front yard. And as you can see, this one's doing great. You know, even with the heat, the sun doesn't really get to it too bad, but that's a contorted mulberry trunk. They zigzag back and forth every time a leaf comes out. They go the opposite way. So I'm going to try to do some more air layers off of this, maybe in the fall. So maybe next spring I might have some if you guys are interested. Here's another Walmart pineapple top. Over here we got a dwarf Brazilian, and you can see new leaf is burnt, and this guy doesn't really get much sun. Same thing with my Madagascar palm. Last year it looked great. This year, burnt to death. Plumeria, one I saved from Walmart, or not Walmart, Lowe's. It's grown quite a bit, and you can see it's getting a little burn on the leaves. Not good. Over here we got some Indian banyan trees that we grew from cuttings, I should say. And they're doing pretty good. I'm going to be doing a video on banyan trees coming up when the weather cools off. We're going to take some cuttings from a famous tree and show you how to root them and how we get probably about 25% success with them. They're a little tricky when it comes to rooting. Over here we got some more Musa velutina. They really took a beating, really bad. Here's fig cuttings in the background. Still haven't gotten to potting those up yet. Here's the white Morris alba, white mulberry. This is the blackberry version, and as you can see, even this guy took a little damage from the heat. Some crispy leaves on there. Over here, it's an Australian green. Same thing. Getting a little beat up from the sun. I try to water these guys as much as possible, but I can't water them in the morning and at night. I can only water them at night, so it is what it is, but they're really getting beat up this year. On the ground here, we got some sugar cane. We had a windstorm the other day blow through and blew down some of our sugar cane. Over here, we got some Italian figs, unknown variety from Italy, starting to ripen, and as you can see, the birds are getting to them. Got the avocado over here. This is the inoculated avocado, about, I think, 1.5 years old from seed, a whole bunch of different types, inoculated trunks, and they're just starting to get a little bit of sunburn from the sun, not too bad. They're only getting shade from this tree and these Pakistani mulberries growing around them. Over here we have an Anna apple tree, and apple season's basically over. And since I've been really busy, I haven't been able to harvest them, and as you can see, there is a lot of rotten apples. So we got to remove those, throw them on the ground, leave them for mulch. Over here, we got a bunch of Queensland bottle trees, like I showed you in the front yard. These guys took a little bit of a beating, but they are starting to come back. I got a whole bin of these. I'll show you those in a minute. Got a whole bunch of big fig cuttings here, guys. We got some white Italian, some brown turkey, some black mission. I think we also have a black Madeira somewhere in here. Here's some papayas up here. As you can see, they are taking a beating, even sitting here, getting watered a lot and a lot of shade and everything. I've never had papayas take a beating like this, but our summer's been so damn hot, it's really beating these guys up. So hopefully they make it. Here's another transplant blue java from the big blue java tree. And again, you can see, I'll get you up there on the pole. These leaves are getting cooked. Over here, there's another dwarf Brazilian. Little bit of burn where it's getting some, but it's kind of low. Over here we had a Musa acuminata. Leaves are getting a little burnt, not too bad. A little whipped by the wind, but that is a seed grown one that I grew about 2 years ago from seed. Here's the sugar cane blowing over. Good thing is that shading our fiddle leaf fig, which is about, I think, 2 or 3 years in the ground, that one's doing good. Another blue Java transplant, getting beat up. Got a giant African Candarian over here. Praying hands back there. He's doing pretty good because he's getting pretty much shade. Some more papaya, some Shangri-La mulberries. Back here, we got a Rajapuri in complete shade, and look at how good his new leaf looks. He's in complete shade almost all day, though. Dwarf Orinoco over here with a pup. Not doing too bad. Getting a little beat up from the sun, though. But he's getting shaded by this Shangri-La a little bit. It's helping. Over there, we have the Golden Dorset apple. A couple apples left on it, not many. But that one I harvested completely and got a couple of 5-gallon buckets off of it. Over here we got a blackjack fig with a grafted Peter's honey on it. And looks like we're going to be able to pick some figs soon. Birds already got to this one. That sucks. Ants are now eating it, but we got a couple of figs on this one. This one's pretty big. This one's about 2 years old from a 6-inch cutting. Got some Concord grapes that are also taking a beating from the sun. They're underneath this umbrella here now. But we're starting to harvest these. They're teeny tiny. I have to trim it up to get it to grow right, but they're not too bad. About 3 or 4 seeds in each. I wish they were seedless, but I'm going to grow the seeds anyway. So not a total loss. Chaya plant. Chaya is just doing great, guys. Look at this thing. I'm going to get you up here and you can take a look. This thing's enormous. Huge, huge, huge Chaya plant. Doing really good. Over here we got a Ensada banana. Getting a little beat up. He doesn't get much sun, but he's still getting beat up just from the heat. Whole bunch of dragon fruit cuttings. Over here we got some, this is a yellow Jamaican cherry or yellow strawberry tree. Just got him today. He's going to be going outside my kitchen to shade that side of my house. Got some more cashews going. And these guys here, these are all bottle trees grown from seed, about 80 of them. So hopefully I'll get these potted up. If you guys are interested in Queensland bottle trees, they're awesome trees. I'll try to do a cutaway here and show you what they look like fully grown, but they are awesome. Got some more papayas going over here, guys. Again, they're getting beat up by the sun, but they're getting pretty big. Last year they did phenomenal because we just had such a cooler, more humid, wet summer. And there's a the Pakistani. It's got to be about probably 25, almost 30 feet tall by now. And as you can see, well, you might not be able to see, but some of those leaves up top, they're getting a little beat up too from the sun. So mulberries do great here, but again, guys, this is an unusually hot summer here, so things are going to get a little cooked, but they will spring back, no problem. Here's some more papayas. We got some starting to ripen. Got a pretty decent one down here starting to ripen. We're probably going to pick that. Starting to get yellow on the tip there, so probably going to pick that, let it ripen inside. All right, guys, so that's just a little update on the yard, just to show you guys, even though I'm really good at growing things and I try to take the best care of my plants, there's nothing you can do when it gets this hot for this long. No matter what, you're going to probably lose some plants. You're probably going to have dieback. Your plants are going to look like total crap. Things are not going to go right, but just stick with it. Keep up on the watering. I wouldn't fertilize this time of the year. When you fertilize this time of the year, the plants wind up sucking up so much water to cool themselves off that they're going to suck in a lot of fertilizer, and it could cause even more problems. So for this time of the year, guys, just water. All right, try not to spray any herbicides, pesticides, anything like that on or around your plants. Just water, water, water. Make sure you got a good layer of mulch. Try to give your plants some shade. It's been so hot, sometimes even shade doesn't help. I have some plants in the yard that are in shade and they're underneath the patio and stuff, and they're still getting beat up. So don't feel bad, guys. It's happening to all of us. And like I said, if you guys aren't familiar with our area and you're watching this video, it's a real thing, man. It gets hot here. You know, it's not too bad because we don't have super high humidity, but it is still really hot. You know, when I say 118 degrees, I'm talking 118 degrees in the shade. So you could imagine if you were standing in the sun, like let's say in a parking lot covered in blacktop, when it's 118 degrees in the shade in that parking lot, it's probably 150, 160 easy. So just remember, guys, if you're that thirsty and running out of water, you know, you sit outside here even in the shade on a day like this, you know, you're thirsty in 5-10 minutes. Just imagine how your plants feel. So if you guys could up your watering, it'd probably help tremendously. And I'm not saying up your watering all at once. I'm saying water throughout the day. If you have a work from home job, or you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, or retired, or disability, whatever, and you're home all day, go out and water, you know, maybe around lunchtime, around 3 o'clock, and around 6 o'clock again. You know, just keep the water flowing, all right? You don't have to water a lot, but just keep that soil moist. Remember, if you're thirsty, water in your yard, your plants are probably way thirstier. So keep your plants hydrated. Don't wait until the end of the day like I do. You know, some of us, you know, like me, don't have that luxury to stay at home and be able to water or automate the whole yard. And so stick with it, guys. Hopefully in another week or so, this will pass and we'll start getting some rain and the temperatures will come down, the humidity will go up a little bit, and your plants will be happier. But for now, just try to keep them alive, guys. So I hope that makes you feel a little better, guys, knowing that everyone's having problems. I've been talking to a whole bunch of people and they're all saying the same thing. Man, I've lost a whole bunch of plants, especially the potted ones, you know. Like I said before, you know, if you're in grow bags, your roots are going to stay a little cooler because you got that swamp cooler effect, evap cooler, whatever you want to call it, compared to a pot. And even there, though, guys, they're evaporating water so quick, they're going to dry out very quick. So you got to make sure you keep them watered. So, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you have any comments or anything, stories about your plants, what's dying, what's living, leave them down in the comments. Let's get a couple of conversations going, you know, try to compare notes. But again, this is, actually, I haven't told you, this is 2023 and we're, I think, July 19th, 2023. And the monsoon season has started, but we're not getting any water or humidity or any breaking this heat. So leave a comment down below, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell so you get updates and notifications on my future videos. And until the next video, guys, keep growing.